We've all had those moments after we bought something. Man, why did I buy this? I spent way too much money on this item. I need to stop spending money. It's a common buyer's remorse that we struggle with, and to be honest, it's a hard struggle. The magic of advertising is very powerful, and it takes a lot of effort to resist it. So in today's video, I want to share with you 5 simple and easy tips to spending less money. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. Let's start at the very beginning, the moment we buy something. When money changes hands and we go home with that new item. The truth is that so many of us buy things when we barely even thought of buying them before. The typical shopping experience, whether at a store or online, is most often exercised between crafty advertising by the company selling the product and simple mindlessness on our part. Which leads to our first tip to spending less money. We want to be mindful consumers, not a mindless one. Someone who has his or her principles set firmly in place before shopping. This way, we know what we want and we can sidestep what the crafty advertising is trying to accomplish. If we walk into a store or start browsing their online website without a firm sense of why we're there and what we need and want, we're basically inviting the force of marketing to come and take our money from us. For me, I love shopping at Amazon. When I was growing up, if I wanted something, I had to drive to the store to get it. Even if it's something small like a box of pens or a book I wanted. Now, with a click of a button, we can literally get anything that we want at our doorstep within a matter of days. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon started selling cars online soon. However, one of the dangers of this convenience is that it's so easy to fall into mindless spending with Amazon. Its convenience is also its most dangerous trait. When we're bored, we can't help ourselves but start browsing online, and before we know it, we're at the Amazon website to see what's on sale, or what new yoga mat is out. And I'm the first one to admit I am the biggest culprit of it. A way I've been able to be a more mindful consumer versus a mindless one has been to only go to the Amazon website when I have a list of specific items that I need to purchase. It's only after I clarified what I needed I allow myself to enter the Amazon online store. Without this intentional effort, I often catch myself buying things I never even thought about before. Be a mindful consumer, not a mindless one. The second simple tip to spending less money is not to shop, especially when bored or tired. When I was in the military, one of the toughest aspects of training wasn't actually the physical or technical. Obstacle courses were actually quite fun to go through, and I couldn't believe that they would let a 21-year-old like me fire big weapons. The hardest part was actually when we were deprived of sleep. During field training, we often had to go through days with just a few hours of sleep. First couple of days were okay, but after a week or so, it really caught up to us. And there was a specific reason why the military training was like this. They wanted to test our ability to make decisions when we were extremely tired and sleep deprived. When we're tired, we naturally don't have good judgment and don't make good decisions. And this is so true with spending money. When we allow ourselves to browse the Amazon website or walk into a store when we're bored and tired, we aren't at our best selves. We buy something because we think it's a good buy, but later we regret it because we realize our judgment was off. So be extra mindful and aware of your surroundings and what you're doing. Most likely, if you wouldn't buy it when you're well rested, it definitely isn't a good buy when you're tired. If you're bored or tired, avoid places where you might be tempted to spend money. That way you can save your money for really worthwhile purchases that you can really find joy from. The third simple tip to spending less money is to sleep on big purchases. And this is a good segue from the second tip that we just went over. If you're on the fence about a major purchase, take a pause and sleep on it. Most often, a good night's rest will allow you to take a look at your spending decision with a new light and with a clear head. And this new light might make you think twice about the purchase. Studies show that a good night's sleep improves concentration and productivity. Sleep is very important for the various aspects of brain function. Cognition, concentration, productivity, and performance are all negatively affected by sleep deprivation. Studies on overworked physicians provide a good example. It found that doctors with moderate level of sleep-related impairment were 50% more likely to report clinically significant medical errors. On the other hand, good sleep has been shown to improve problem-solving skills and enhance memory performance in both children and adults. I have to often do this with new gear that I want to buy for this YouTube channel and my business in general. I get all excited about a new camera or gear that will help me produce what I think is a higher quality video. Just the other day, I spent hours reviewing different drones in the market. There are so many cool ones these days, and I admit I was so close to purchasing one. Ironically, I started going down this rabbit hole when I was extremely tired and sleep deprived. After getting a good night's rest and a clear head, I got to my senses and realized that I run a personal finance YouTube channel, not a travel or lifestyle channel. Maybe one day I can make a cool personal finance drone videos for you guys, but for now I think I'm okay. Or maybe I could be completely wrong. Let me know in the comments below. Alright, moving on to number 4. The fourth simple tip to spending less money is to focus on quality over quantity. Most often when we're focused on quantity, we're focused on price, getting the cheapest item we can afford. However, when we focus on quality over quantity, we instead focus on the best value we can get for our money. To be honest, growing up, I didn't know the difference. I was ingrained with the idea that spending less always trumped spending more. I didn't even know what the word value meant. This was evident in my shoe purchase habits growing up. Whenever we went shopping for a new pair of shoes, my mom would take us to a Payless shoe stores. They always had deals, and you can walk out with a decent looking pair of shoes for most times under $15. This habit carried over to my college days even when my mom was the one taking us to Payless. I was running more often in college, and these $15 shoes would just wear down after a few months, which really frustrated me. At the recommendation of a friend that ran with me, I one day decided that I would invest in Nike running shoes from Nike. Close to $100 for a brand new pair of running shoes. I had never spent that much money on anything at that time. I was quite nervous. But I was tired of my cheap shoes constantly falling apart, so I made the purchase. And man, was this a great purchase or what? Not only did this pair of running shoes last me the rest of college, it was literally the lightest shoe I ever had. It was made specifically for runners, and I knew I could never go back. And the best part was because I wasn't shelling out $15 every few months for a new pair of cheap shoes, in total it actually saved me money. When we focus on quantity over quality, we fixate on saving money above all else. We willingly sacrifice quality and time to squeeze out every dollar we can from a purchase. In the case of my $15 Payless shoes, I was willingly driving to a store half an hour away every few months to save what I thought was a lot of money in the long run. Where in actuality, I wasn't only sacrificing time and quality, but money as well. The fifth simple tip to spending less money is my favorite one, and this is not to compare. Product marketing most often doesn't appeal to our best selves. It actually appeals most to our weaknesses, emotions like greed and fear. For marketing to be most effective, we as customers need to feel that we are lacking something in our lives. My car looks outdated. My kids' clothes look tattered. My shoes look out of style. And most often these feelings arise from comparison to others around us. My car looks outdated because everyone in my neighborhood seems to have a brand new car. My kids' clothes look tattered because when I drop them off at school, I can't help but observe the clothes of other kids. And my shoes look out of style because I've been binge watching fashion YouTube channels. Driving a nice car isn't a bad thing. And driving stylish shoes is actually great. But only do it because it brings you joy, not because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. We're all different individuals, and all of our money situations are also very different. Our neighbor who has a brand new Audi might have actually made a lot of financial sacrifices to prioritize their car purchase. Maybe because it's so important to them. We just don't know their financial situation, and more importantly, your priority might be completely different. The world and the history is full of people, myself included, who have bought things simply to keep up with someone else. How much of the value of an item is merely the value of everyone else's approval? Don't pressure yourself into buying something just because you feel like it's the thing that people should do, or you feel lacking because of it. Thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to learn more about some of the things that I stopped spending money on, check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.